Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm honored to have been asked to speak about how St. Paul's has aided my spiritual journey and why I choose to be generous to St. Paul's. In thinking about what to say, I realized that the first part of this assignment is much easier than the second. I can and will enumerate the role of St. Paul's in my spiritual life, but it is clear to me that I shouldn't be held up as a paragon of generosity. How can I talk about being generous when I don't think that I'm generous all the time, or perhaps even most of the time? As I thought some more, though, I found what for me was a natural connection between my faith life and being generous. I'll start with the faith life, though. Slogans can encapsulate a whole range of ideas and feelings, and St. Paul's has one that does that for me. It's on the front page of the website and often repeated during worship. Whoever you are, wherever you find yourself on the journey of life, we welcome you. The sense of welcome, whoever I am, is incredibly important. I had a difficult time admitting to myself and then to others that I am gay. At one point in my life, I was moving to a new city, and I vowed to live my life there as an openly gay man. In doing so, I decided to leave the denomination where I had been raised and take a break from church. The break didn't last more than a few weeks. A gay couple I met told me about their church, an Episcopal church, whose rector was openly gay. I gave it a try and struggled a bit with juggling the order of worship, the prayer book, the hymnal, and the right one, these and thous. But mostly, I sat and cried in my pew for a few weeks. I knew that I had found a new church home. When I moved to San Diego, I feared that things might go back to square one. Someone from my former parish recommended St. Paul's. It wasn't quite the same as the church I had come to love, though we only used Rite One occasionally, for example. But I stayed. What I discovered here was a welcome that modeled God's grace. Grace, I have learned, is something freely given. It does not have to be earned. I do not have to be worthy of it, whoever I am. And that in itself is a big spiritual lesson. While I'm not particularly in need of it, I tend to take it for granted, and the St. Paul's community takes me and my needs for granted as well. But when I am ready for God's grace to be in my life for a specific purpose, the community has always come through. Most recently, you came through for me as I had 3 surgeries, radiation, and chemo for colorectal cancer. St. Paul's people laid hands on me, made sure I was cared for, brought me Eucharist, and even Christmas cheer in the hospital, and offered lots of prayers. Believe me, I felt grace shower down on me, and that feeling helped me to sustain a positive attitude throughout the process. I am cancer-free today in good measure thanks to both effective medicine and the St. Paul's community. The lesson I've learned from my experience is to be grateful for what I've been given. I have been given the gift of God's grace as modeled by this community. I need not only to feel grateful, but to show I am grateful. I show my gratitude in 2 primary ways. I pledge and fulfill my pledge even when it's tough to do so. And I volunteer my time, even when it's tough to do so. I sometimes want to beat myself up for not giving more, both in time and money, but invariably when I express that frustration, someone will gracefully remind me that having limits is fine. I have found myself in a variety of places on the journey of life, and you welcomed me in all those places. I don't have to give the most, and that's an important lesson too. But I do have to give with gratitude. Let me close by asking you to consider how St. Paul's has welcomed you. whoever you are, and wherever you find yourself on the journey of life. Then meditate on your gratitude for what this community does for you, and decide how you wish to express that gratitude. As you do so, I know from experience that God's grace will shower you with blessings.